Good afternoon. Welcome to Temple Baptist Church. I say good afternoon, good morning, whatever time you may be watching this. It happens to be in the afternoon that we are recording these, sometimes it's hard not to do that. But anyhow, wherever, whenever, what time, whether it's midnight or whatever you chose to watch this, we're praying that it's a blessing to you. I'm back in the book of Job. Job is a character that really we could pattern ourselves after. Job chapter 19, and really just verse 25 is the verse that we want to look at. And I want to think a thought here today. What about 100 years from now? What about 100 years from now? Job says in Job chapter 19 and verse 25, I know that my Redeemer liveth, and that in the end he will stand on the earth. And he goes on to say, after the skin worms have destroyed my body, yet in my flesh I will see God. I myself will see him with my own eyes. I and not another. How my heart yearns within me. Job yearned to see God, and he knew that his Redeemer was living. As we've already talked, and we was in Job here a few sessions ago, and he's accused of secret sins by his friends that caused his suffering. But Job has maintained his innocence through all of this, and in 1925 there he speaks of a Redeemer who is going to one day vindicate him, and he's going to set things right. The word here used for Redeemer, I think, frequently refers in the Old Testament to that kinsman redeemer that they write about, the person who defended or avenged the cause of another, who provided protection or legal aid for a close relative who could not do that for themselves. And so Job is reminding here his friends that like I say, they're accusing him of their fate. I find that you remember the TV series The Twilight Zone. Probably some of us will remember that. There may be some that won't. Rod Serling was the creator of that, the screenwriter of it in 1975, and he wanted people to say something of him. He wanted them to remember him. He wanted to leave a legacy behind, and he wanted them to know that he was a writer. And I think most of us can identify with that, wanting to leave a legacy, something that would give our lives a sense of meaning and a performance. And I think the story of Job here really shows us a man struggling with the meaning of life's fleeting days. In a moment, not just only his possessions, but those most precious to him, his whole family, his children, were taken from him. And in these friends, so-called friends, now they were friends, they came and they accused him of deserving what's happening to him, and deserving his fate. And just Job, he cries out, oh, that my words were recorded, they were written on a scroll, that they were inscribed with an iron tool on lead, or engraved in a rock forever. Just that's his wish. And Job needed even more meaning in life than a legacy that he'd leave behind. He needed more than that. And he discovers the character of God. I know that my Redeemer liveth. And Job is declaring that at the end he will stand on earth. Jesus is coming back. That knowledge gives him the right longing. And like I said, if anybody had a right to be depressed, it was probably Job. He had some things happen to him, and we know why those were happening. But but he acknowledged himself. He knows that Jesus is going to stand. God's going to stand on the earth. This knowledge gave him the right to. I myself will see him, not another. My heart yearns within me. How many of us today look forward to the Lord's return? Just think about it. All the troubles and all the trials and all the tribulations and all the things that we're going through here, just talking just a few minutes ago with some friends about wearing masks and all the things that we're being told and having to do today. In heaven, I'm not going to have to wear no mask. I'm not going to have to worry about any COVID-19 virus. And when Jesus comes back, and he's coming back in the air first. He's coming back in the air to sound of the trumpet. He's going to call his children home. Those that are dead are going to rise first, and then we which are alive and remain and be caught up together with them in the clouds. And so we shall ever be with the Lord. And Paul said, wherefore comfort one another with these words. And I pray that these words of Job's are comfort for you in the end. Job just didn't find really everything that he expected, but he found much more, didn't he? The source of all meaning and all our preeminence there, the things that are there. Just think of what is ahead for us as God's children. As Brother Steve likes to say, I guess you could say it's the motto here at Temple, the best is yet to be. Do you know the best? Are you waiting on the best? Jesus is the best thing that can ever happen to anybody. And 100 years from now, that's the only thing that'll really matter, is where are you in eternity. May God bless you is our prayer.